What's up? It's your man, Marv Glover.
And the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis. Not messing it up this time.
I love it. And you are now tuned in to the Hold My Nuggets podcast. 50% sports, 50% real shit, 100% of the time. And if you don't like that, hold my nuggets.
Suck my dick.
And welcome to episode number 4. Well, you just imitating.
4.
You just imitating. I know. If you see episode number 3, it looks like we're wearing the same thing, right? And we are. But I promise you, we didn't record episode 4 the same day we record episode number 3.
No, we just don't shy. We live outside. We're homeless.
We live in the studio. We work that hard on the podcast. We just get it done.
No, I don't live in I live outside.
You outside?
Yeah, because if you live in the studio, you probably got to pay to reside here.
No. I'm a finesse king.
Well, clearly this man has money. See, we didn't touch on how because he's not getting paid at his job, but somehow he's living in the studio.
I mean, I don't want to tell them how I'm doing it because then they're going to find out and kick me out. But we not
Hey, they
that.
just might because your glass was empty and now it's filled.
Well, you know, it's a rock.
I beg to differ, all
It's
right?
a rock. I'm drinking. When you drinking the finer things in life, you don't just say it's not Ciroc. A lot of
So
people
wait,
go Ciroc.
Ciroc is considered the finer things in life
What you
that
mean?
you can purchase for $34?
You don't even know what it's
mixed. If you
mixed.
said some dumb of
You don't
62,
even-
then maybe.
I might
you
have
said some a little bit of wine.
I might have the Douce in the back.
Do say, all right, this man's not.
I might have a little bit of Henny with me too. You don't know. Hold on, let me.
Oh, so this is your phase? You just turned 21. All of a sudden now it's let's just go and drink.
We're basically the same age.
No,
why
we're
are
not.
you trying to play?
We have a huge gap between
How old
us.
are you?
I'm 37.
The mustache give me 10 years, brother. We not even. If we gonna talk about it.
How long you had your mustache?
What?
How long you had your mustache?
Why?
No, I'm just curious.
Couple years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Oh, so did it date back to when you was in high school too?
Yeah. Well, it was a little peach fuzzy.
Oh, a little peach fuzzy. Oh, so were you intimate in high school with ladies?
What? Like junior, senior year.
Junior year? Oh, so you're about what, 16?
Yeah.
Well, since it gave you 10 years, you're a predator. Now, I'll turn you into the authorities. We have an R. Kelly on the loose.
Why?
Surviving
Why?
Marv
What
Glover.
is your issue?
Surviving
With my facial
Marv
hair.
Glover.
Can we focus?
Baby, I'm 16.
Why?
But
Can
my
we
mustache makes me 26.
I don't even.
Look at my
Ladies,
grown adult
ladies,
appendage.
I
may
am-
live with my. I don't live with my parents. My parents
no
live
way,
with
shape,
me.
Or form engage in anything statutory.
I may be 16, but my appendage
this
is
man
26.
Has a vendetta against me and my mustache, but we not getting into that right now. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm excited. This is episode number 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We doing as much as we can. We out here. We get into it. I wanted to talk to you today. I wanted to open up about a special subject. You know, me and you have touched on this way back before either one of us was doing comedy.
Yes,
actually.
indeed.
We did a whole little mini docu-series for my
Yes, we
college
did.
class back when
Yes,
I thought
we
I was
did.
going to get a degree. But, yeah.
Hey, he's dropping it.
Yeah, dropped it. Dropped it like a motherfucker. I don't even know.
Yeah,
But
you a college dropout, but you weren't good enough to get on Kanye's.
not at all. Not at all. But look, man, I wanted to talk to you, get into a little bit about, a lot of people don't know this. They know you as a comedian, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know that you actually have an actual athletic background. You don't really talk about it either on your channel and stuff like that at all. But, we and you have talked about it a lot off camera. I'll let you speak for yourself, but you played football in high school, played football in college. Just give us a little background on that.
Well, I was always athletic. I was always an athlete. I was one of those kids who always aspired to be in team sports when I was a toddler and becoming a preteen. But my parents, my mother, never wanted to let me go and join. But when I went to high school, I told her I was going to go play football, soccer translation. And I lied. My father went along with it because he's a trooper. That's my guy. And we went and we started our football journey.
There you go.
And I played 4 years, a high school football, wide receiver,
There you go.
tight end,
Yep.
linebacker,
I remember those days.
free safety, strong safety,
Well, I don't know if you-
cornerback,
Wait. Time
kick
out.
returner.
Wait.
A lot of positions. I was all over the place.
I don't know if you for real or not.
So did us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I was all over the field.
I remember
now,
my
the
wide
funny thing
receiver
about
days.
it is, okay. All right. Your wide receiving days? All right, Michael Sam.
Not like
but
that,
basically, I was all over the field. Now, the funny thing about it is, usually when people say, they all over the field, they was elite.
Right.
Nah, I was average. So basically, I was like a white penis in America. So
Goodness
what was going on
the fuck is
was
going on?
I ended up going to college.
There you go.
And I played.
What school did you go to?
I went to Alfred State College, upstate.
All right.
And
You're not
I
gonna
played.
shout your high school out either?
Grady High School. That's where I went to in Coney Island, across from Lincoln. You know, I was supposed to go to Lincoln, but for some apparent reason, I put Grady as the 12th school that I applied to, and they responded first. It took 3 weeks. You couldn't wait. You couldn't let my application marinate. You didn't let me go somewhere. My brother went to Lincoln. I was cool with the coach that was over there. I thought I was fixing to show up at Lincoln and get a great football experience. That was not the case. I ended up going to Grady. It was still fun. I truly appreciate it. I still go back. I love the coaches that was over there. Things didn't really turn out too well. How things turned out, worst day of my life happened to come on my final game in high school. We lost in the playoffs, but I don't want to say I wouldn't trade the experience for anything, because if I could go back, I would. There's some things that, I'd make some different decisions. But college, went to Alfred State College, played wide receiver over there 2 years. Football just wasn't the same. In college versus high school. There was the camaraderie was just not the same.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to get into. Another part that I wanted to get into, because talk a little bit about, I guess, the difference in terms of like what football life was like in high school versus like when you got to college.
Okay, high school, it felt as if football was an extracurricular activity.
Okay.
So it wasn't as if football was life. Like you went to school and then you did football. It was on the side. But then again, we didn't really have the experience in Grady to where it was like, yo, this is around the clock. We had times in which we would train together. They ended up creating like a gym class called team sports, where it's just a team and we work out together. But outside of that, it was just, you got practice after school and that's really it.
Got you.
So it was whatever it was. It was just another time playing sports. You didn't really feel like you had the student-athlete feel. Right. When I got to college, it was different. Because we had a ton of different regiments. They actually gave us a physical, playbook that was there. I ended up giving you mine because I had to.
Back in my coaching days.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So basically, and college was different, man, because you had to schedule your classes around your practice, because we had guys who'd show up, an hour into practice, like, I just came out of class. I'm sorry about that. On the line. And now all of a sudden you run in sprints. Damn. But college was different, man, because they had times when we went on the road. There was time we went to Virginia, we went to Maine, we went to Ohio. We weren't one of those teams that flew, so we was on like
on the megabus.
We was on the megabus going together. But it was just a team, so we had one of those, But it was a cool experience, man. I truly had the student athlete feel.
Gotcha.
I loved every second of it outside of the politicking of college football.
Politicking in what sense? Of
basically, it was like favoritism. There was favoritism that was there, because I worked. My first year, I played completely angry because of how high school ended, at least with the sports over there. So I was out to prove something, and the entire time you would just run onto the field, and I was in the rotation, but I wasn't getting as many snaps as I thought I deserved, and it was just the head coach was the only one who just like, we're not fixing to get you in, because I would play like 20. I'd play like 20 snaps. We had about 60 offensive snaps, which is still decent. But the ball didn't come in my direction. Like I had a reception in, I believe it was the second quarter of the first game of my freshman season, and then the rest of the season, the ball never landed in my hands.
Goodness gracious.
If you look at the film, because I obviously I'm not sure if you were to go on Huddle and you were to check the game film, I'd highly doubt it's still there from 2012.
Yeah.
But I'm open all the time. The one thing that I always prided myself on was running routes. So I can get myself open. I was never the fastest. I was quick. I was never the best route runner.
Me too.
But I was able, you suck. But I was able to shift my body to make it seem like, I would do a wiggle sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I would catch people.
Yeah.
So when I did this wiggle, the safety would think, he's doing an in. Foolish. I'm doing an out. The corner would think I'm doing an out. Foolish. I'm doing a post. You don't.
Really?
No, you do mustache weightlifting.
You feel me?
So
This
basically, it was a cool experience, man. Being a student athlete, man. It was great. It was great.
Man, listen. The only reason I bring that up is because we in July right now. We getting ready to go into August, from August to September, and I think you know better than I do. We about to step into your territory. We about to step into
question.
NFL football, National Football League, football in the league of the national in the. You know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. It don't matter. All right?
Okay.
NFL season is coming up. It's closer than we think. I know you excited as hell. There's a lot that's been going on
without question.
This past off season. A couple moves that have been made within the free agency. But for me, I think one of the talks that need to be that's been happening all throughout the off season is because of some of the moves that have been had with because of some of the moves that have happened, what teams going into next season are dealing with the most pressure for next year? I'm going to start off with you. Because like I said, this is your expertise. I'm letting people know I am a football legend, high school football legend. We're not talking about that. But in terms of knowledge of the game, I got a little something. You understand? But it don't matter. It don't matter. Look. Focus.
You can't be a high school football legend if you didn't play.
Whoa.
They had high school Madden games?
Whoa. I thought we was talking about let's focus.
You can't be a high school football legend. You never played.
You don't know these things.
You never put shoulder pads on.
You don't know this.
Yes, I do. Your collarbone has never felt the padding. You're just dancing.
They used
and
to
it's
call
a bad
me,
dance.
They used to call me Marvy Moss.
Marvy Moss?
Marvy Moss. You understand? I used to, I wore 81 just like he. Marvy Moss.
That sound like a Gucci dealer on the street of Harlem in 1986.
I was Beckham before Beckham. I'm just telling you the truth.
The Beckham before Beckham.
I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
The Beckham before Beckham was Chris Carter. What are you talking about?
Before him, it was me.
Oh, so you're dating yourself. Maybe the mustache does add age. Maybe we have been deceived. Perhaps this is a revelation of who Marv Glover once was. Am I the 21-year-old phenom in the stand-up streets? Absolutely not. I am a 57-year-old man in the
21.
shield of being young. The face app, the aging face app is on display in front of me. It's just for men. It's really great. This man is old. We got the elderly AARP in the studio before me.
Let's focus. Top 5 teams going into the next season facing the most pressure. We'll do the same way we do it. We'll do it a little quicker than usual.
Okay.
5, 4 to 4. Number 5, who you got?
I got the Chiefs.
Okay.
I got the Chiefs because you have the no more Kareem Hunt. Now, granted, last year they played without him, but there was also supposed to be no Tariq Hill, but apparently now he's not being suspended.
Gotcha.
So that kind of screwed up my list for who had number 5. But still,
shout out to his lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, without question, he's the real MVP.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran Jr.
Oh yeah. You were to pull that up with the tapes and everything. R. Kelly need to hire him. But basically, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at number 5. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you have the pressure on Mahomes to go and replicate the same sort of season that he just had.
Got you.
They're going to want to see if he can go out and throw 50 touchdowns again. Can he go out there and throw for 5,000 yards again?
Yes, sir.
And because you have a question mark to what's going to be happening in the backfield and the consistency of what's going down the backfield, the offense is going to fall on the shoulders of Mahomes, and they're going to expect this man to go out there and have another first-team All-Pro sort of season.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I put the Kansas City Chiefs at my number 5.
At number 5, I got the greatest team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys. All right, number 5, I think they're definitely number 5 on the list for one reason. For the main reason only. I think that the talent is there on both sides of the ball. You understand? At running back, we have Ezekiel Elliott. We know that the offense runs through him. We got our quarterback. We got a young linebacking core in a Jalen Smith and a Leighton Van Esch. They're there. We paid DeMarcus Lawrence, so we were able to secure him. Randy Gregory, we don't know what the fuck's going on with him. We'll figure that out later. All right, we got a ascending DB. In what's old boy's name? Byron Jones. He's been stepping up.
Yeah, Byron Jones, sensational.
He's
that
stepping
dude
up.
Can jump.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So the talent is there, but the question has never been about the talent. The question has always been about the man ahead coach, Jason Garrett, a.k.a. Coach Clapp. For me personally, we're going to get into it later, I think this is a Super Bowl contending team. All the pieces are there. And if there was ever a year for them to get it done, it is this year. And all eyes are on Jason Garrett, man. We gave you everything. You got everything you need. Make it happen. I got the Cowboys at number 5. And number 4, who you got?
Coach Clapp. That is nice, man. They should put him at the end of Super Smash Bros. When they're always clapping and stuff like that. Or they could give him chlamydia. But basically, number 4, I got the Green Bay Packers. Now, you have 2 consecutive seasons in which they missed the postseason. More importantly, you have somebody like an Aaron Rodgers where people are now questioning how good he really is, which is absolutely ludicrous to me because the Green Bay Packers management has failed this man. It's been the same way that they did Marino back in the day with the Miami Dolphins. The only difference is Aaron Rodgers was able to get a Super Bowl with a defense the one year they had a defense.
Right.
So the pressure is on the Green Bay Packers to get back to the postseason because now their dominance of the NFC North has since shifted. You've seen times in which the Minnesota Vikings came and they either won the division or they put pressure on the heels of the Packers and they had their isolated seasons, but they haven't been consistent. You have the emergence of the Chicago Bears, but still, that division is owned by the Green Bay Packers and has been owned for the decade. Now, Coach McCarthy is gone. You got in a new coach now. Aaron Rodgers has it's pretty much The pressure is on Green Bay to see if Titletown can go and deliver the Lombardi back home.
At number 4, I got the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Yes. At number 4, I got the Cleveland Browns. Here's the deal. Personally speaking, I think they're going to make the playoffs, right? But this guy, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's ludicrous. They have Super Bowl talent, but I wouldn't put them as far as to say that I think they're going to make a run, especially, the thing for me is that the talent is there. They made a couple moves. They got an Odell Beckham, and when you look across the board, they have a Jarvis Landry, Myles Garrett. What's the other dude on defense? Not on defense, sorry. Going back to offense. David
Njoku.
Mbaku. There you go. You understand what I'm saying? Denzel Ward on defense. On offense, they got their quarterback in Baker Mayfield. I love Bake. Bake is dope. Yeah. But for me, once again, the same reason I'm saying, the same way I feel about the Cowboys, the same way I feel about the Browns team in a new coach that they head coach and have in Freddie Kitchens. This man is unproven. You understand? There were a couple. There weren't many, but there were a couple other head coaching prospects that they could have looked into. Now you get a guy with a team like this and some personalities on it too. In an Odell Beckham, you know what I'm saying, Anna Jarvis and a couple other names. I got to see it to believe it. I think that they're facing some pressure because there are people who think that they do have everything that it takes to make a run. I don't think it's gonna happen. But all in all, we need all eyes on Freddie Kitchens to see how he's gonna make this group work. But that's number 4. Number 3, who you got?
My number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Now I have them at number 3 only because you have the questions of Carson Wentz. You have back-to-back seasons where this man did not finish the season, and you saw Nick Foles come in. And St. Nick took him to the postseason. The first year, taking him to the Super Bowl and leaving with a W. The second, taking him to the divisional round, and one pass, or I should say, one situation in which, what happened to my hands in Nelson Aguilar?
Right.
Pardon me. Alshon Jeffrey not being able to secure the ball, falling into the lap of, I believe it was somebody on the New Orleans Saints and walking away with the W. So I got the pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles to go out there and show, more importantly, Carson Wentz, go out there and show that you are the franchise quarterback, that you don't need somebody to bail you out. Can you play a full season so your health is in question as well? And more importantly, is Doug Peterson a one-hit wonder, a one-season wonder? Will they be able to come through? Because they dealt with a ton of different injuries. People are questioning if that one Super Bowl was a fluke year. I have faith in the Philadelphia Eagles to go out there and play, but the pressure is on Philadelphia out there. Meek Mill, Kevin Hart, all those other guys. Can they go out there and, put on a performance this upcoming season?
This might be a wild one, but I got the New Orleans Saints at number 3. I know. Here's the thing.
That's interesting.
With what we saw in the last postseason, the one of the more controversial moments of the postseason, as we know, was the pass interference that wasn't called to be a pass interference. And all off season, or even while the Super Bowl weekend was going on, everybody's talking about it was pass interference, should be the Saints there, this, that, and the third. We don't talk about the fact that I believe in that same game, even after the call, I think they got the ball back in overtime, and Drew Brees turned it over. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? And
he did get hit, but yeah,
he did get hit. Enough. The talk of all season was they deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They got another opportunity to win the game, they blew it. But we don't talk about that. We only talk about the call. All right, and as blatant as it was in a game of football, and you know better than I do, missed calls happen all the time. Granted, in a game of that magnitude, I understand why there's as much controversy surrounding it as it is. But the fact of the matter is this: you did all this talking last season. You got a chance to come back this year with a Drew Brees who's still elite, still one of the best in the game, but he's getting older. We're not talking about this.
Getting older. He is old.
He's old.
He's about to be 40 this year.
And we saw some flashes of his age in that Dallas Cowboys regular season game.
No, from the Cowboys game on, it was old. He threw 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But going into the game, he had a number of touchdowns and only 1 interception on the season.
There you go.
Yeah,
you had the head coach with the histrionics. I'm not sure if you saw the whole thing at the press conference where he had the shirt. You couldn't see the shirt, but it was like a little bit of a shirt, and it was like a picture of like Roger Goodell with the clown nose and all this other stuff. You got Cameron Jordan with the shirt talking about make all of these theatrics and histrionics. You better come and show up this year. So I think the Saints, because in my personal opinion, I think they are in position, even with an older Drew Brees, to make a run. And also even though they lost to Mark Ingram, we don't talk about that as well.
Yeah,
they still have enough talent, in my personal opinion, to make a run. But the pressure's on them. I got them at number 3. Number 2, who you got?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh, really?
Now, Pittsburgh Steelers are number 2 because now you have a situation. Antonio Brown is gone.
Yep.
The cloud of Le'Veon Bell is gone. So the questions are, all right, Big Ben, it's your team. The 2 distractions, quote unquote, are now gone.
Yep.
What can you bring to the table?
Yep.
Last year, you saw all of this dysfunction, and still, this is one of the things that people seem to miss. Throughout all of that, you were still able to win 9 games. Can you go over the hump, make the postseason, and try to make a run with these guys that you have replacements for these all-pro, best in the league kind of guys. You lost an Antonio Brown, best wide receiver in the league, arguably, of course. But if you look over the course of the last 6 years, without question, he's number one. Julio Jones, perhaps, but yeah, number one. Le'Veon Bell, when he was on the field, best running back in the league. Possible Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, but still, Le'Veon Bell in the conversation for the best in the league. You lose 2 of those guys, Hall of Fame talent. What can you bring to the table? All the pressure is on Pittsburgh to see if they truly are able to get through all of that funk and make a run. I believe they will, but pressure's on. They got to go and perform.
At number 2, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. All the talk last year, all the talk offseason was Foles versus Wentz, Wentz versus Foles. Man, look, you look throughout the depth chart, the talent is there to win another Super Bowl, man. I'll call it what it is. But coming into this season, they just extended Carson Wentz. You understand what I'm saying? All eyes are on him. We haven't seen him. The one season that we did see him show what he really truly like. I mean, if that season where I think what was his record? Like, he would have won MVP easily. Got injured. Nick Foles steps in. He does what he does. He comes back. Wentz comes back healthy next season. Gets re-injured again.
Not healthy. He rushed back from his.
Injury. He did. He rushed back. When Foles comes back again, one play away. If what was it? Not Alshon. Nelson.
No, Alshon.
It was Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah. What do you call it? Butterfingers.
But what happened to my head?
One play away from possibly moving on, and then they would. I think they would have played this. Who
they would have went on to play against the Rams.
There you go.
And I believe they would have beat the Rams in the Coliseum.
Went right back to the Super Bowl. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people question. You had people, a lot of people coming out and saying,
no, they would have lost to the Rams. They're way too injured defensively.
We could debate to agree to disagree, but all in all, the fact of the matter is, all eyes are on Carson Wentz. You got your money. You're healthy. What are you gonna do?
Agreed.
Are you gonna be able to last a full season? And not only just last a full season, and not only just help us make the playoffs, but do what we saw Foles do. Now, granted, you made this point as well. We haven't really seen Foles. We weren't able to really see Foles play a full season. We only saw spurts.
Yeah,
you understand. So that's why a lot of people are arguing against replacing him with Wentz, and also Wentz is the younger one. We need to be coming into the season. If Foles we need to see if Foles has the durability and is able to stay healthy. And if he is, I think he'll be able to help them get back to another Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, you mean Wentz? Yeah. You mean Wentz?
And number 1, man.
My number 1, the Cleveland Browns. Now, the reason why I have the Cleveland Browns with the most pressure is you added an Odell Beckham. You added, there was a couple of other names that they added as well. But you have all of this talent on this team now. And people are looking at the Browns as if, you're a Super Bowl contender on paper, which they are on paper. But you've got to translate that to the field.
Right.
And everybody, it's become it's a consensus around the league. The Browns, they coming. Because last year you saw a team that went from a winless team to winning 7 games, having I believe they had a tie with Pittsburgh first game of the season. And honestly, they got screwed over in the game against Oakland. So they really should have 8 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. They should have ended the season with a win, a winning record. So all of the pressure is on Cleveland. Do I think they'll be able to, get over the hump and make it to the postseason? Absolutely not. Do I think they're going to crumble under the pressure? I do think that because there's way too much expectation on somebody in Baker Mayfield where you expect this man to be able to take a team to the Super Bowl in his second year. They're going to look at this man and say, look what Mahomes did in his second year. Look what Marino did in his second year. Look what Big Ben did in his second year. Look what Mark Sanchez did in his first 2 years. And they're going to continue to say, you got to take this. Look at all the talent around you. If they don't get over the hump, all of the pressure is going to fall on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield. Now, this man does have bravado. He is one of those guys where it's an attitude sort of situation. But if things are going bad, if they don't get off to a start that everybody expects them to, how will they respond?
There you go.
So all the pressure is on Cleveland.
At number 1, I got your boys. The
my.
Pittsburgh Steelers are the number 1 team with the most pressure going into the next season for all of the points that you elocuted a little bit earlier. Man, look, here's the deal. So much drama took place this offseason. It's ridiculous. You had this man, Antonio Brown, on ESPN saying this, that, and the third about Big Ben. You got Le'Veon Bell dropping mixtapes when he should be. It was a lot of shit going on, even during the season. You understand what I'm saying? That's just fact of the matter. But the point is this. You lose, arguably, if not, within the past couple of years, the best wide receiver in the game. You lose one of the best running backs in the game. You understand what I'm saying? And you have a Big Ben who a lot of certain players, all year long, him as a teammate was questioned. A lot of people were talking about how he would throw Antonio Brown under the bus and this player and that player under the bus. All eyes are on two people going into next season: Big Ben and Mike Tomlin. We don't really talk. Listen, Mike Tomlin can coach his ass off. Nobody's questioning that. But the talk around the league, and we all know, is he's a player's coach. Players want to play for him, this, that, and the third. Well, when it mattered most, when a disciplinarian needed to step up to prevent a situation like what happened with Antonio Brown happening, and to prevent what happened with Le'Veon Bell was more contractual. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I think that if the Steelers aren't able to not only just make the playoffs, but at least, man, AFC Conference Championships, I think Mike Tomlin is going to be on the hot seat moving forward.
He's already on the hot seat.
You understand?
I think the seat's going to get caliente, and he's going to have to get off because because this is the season for him and Ben.
Right.
So something has got to give. If they don't get far this season, and more importantly, the Pittsburgh Steelers over the course of the last 5 years, 2014, you had an injury to Le'Veon Bell. Last game of the season, Reggie Nelson, my knee. He couldn't play in the postseason game, and then what happens? You go against a Raven team. You lost 33% of your offense, and pretty much, hey, let's just triple team AB, and now you're losing a playoff game. 2015, Le'Veon Bell, Vontaze Burfict, my knee, going for the rest of the season after coming back from a suspension. Then what do you have? The playoff game, wild card game, Vontaze Burfict once again. Antonio Brown, my head. He's not playing in the postseason game. Now you're playing in a situation in which also in that game, D'Angelo Russell, my leg. He can't play either. So you had Fitzgerald Toussaint, my man, who was also Haitian. He ended up fumbling. You lost in the postseason against the Denver Broncos. Year after that, you go to the postseason once again, conference championship. You're down there in Foxborough. I should say up there in Foxborough. Then Le'Veon Bell, my groin. He can't finish the game. What happens? 2017, you come back 13-3. You go and you're playing at home. Here comes Blake Bortles, the defense. Or I should say before that, Ryan Shazier. My back, unfortunately. Get Shay leave, we believe over here. But he could not play defense in shambles. Blake Bortles, I'm going to run for a first down all drive long. 45 points. Dropped on your heads from the Jacksonville Jaguars. 38 points from the offense, I should add, because there was a fumble return for a touchdown. But you lose. In 2018, nothing but dysfunction. So I should say, does everything fall on the shoulders of Mike Tomlin? Not necessarily, because there's a lot of extracurricular activities that did happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But nonetheless, they've got to be able to weather the storm and get over that hurdle. And that leads to where we have to go, because I believe that they will. Now, this may be my bias speaking. This may be my sheer passion and admiration for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I believe they go into the Super Bowl, baby. I believe they go into the Super Bowl. Now, granted, things can change.
Are we having that discussion right now?
Oh, yes, we are. Because when we talk about who is going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is going to the Super Bowl, this man's putting on a Cowboy shirt right now. I know he's not about to do that. Because, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Marv Glover just happens to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. Yes, he is suffering from mental illness. We are trying to see if we can cure this man and figure out what is going on with this guy. But, nonetheless, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Super Bowl and winning. Now, let me tell you what my seeding, how it breaks down. In the NFC, my number 1 seed, I have the New Orleans Saints. Number 2 seed, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to win the division. Number 5, the Atlanta Falcons. Number 6, the Carolina Panthers. That's right. The Chicago Bears will not return to the postseason. I think they're going to have high expectations. I don't think they're going to be able to, go in there and perform the same way that they did last year. More importantly, I don't think the Minnesota Vikings will make a resurgence and go back to the postseason either. I don't think the Cleveland Browns will be able to make it despite the pressure. I think the Baltimore Ravens, the changes that they had on their defense will force them to, have one of those seasons where it's either a 7-9, a 6-10, a strong 8-8, or a very good 9-7, but they just fail to get over the hump. Carolina Panthers, I think they bounce back. I think Cam has one of his better seasons yet. You see the man working on his throwing motion. But ultimately, I see the Saints going to the Super Bowl and playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, how do the Pittsburgh Steelers get to the Super Bowl? My number 1 seed in the AFC is the New England Patriots. They will once again have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you heard that right. I believe they will be the 2 seed. They'll get a bye. Why? Because everybody in the AFC, I think the high record will be 12-4. I don't think anybody in the AFC is going to win 13 games. Number 3, I have the Indianapolis Colts at number 3. Number 4, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. They're going to win the division. And in the wild card, you have the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. And in the AFC Championship, I believe it will be the Pittsburgh Steelers who defeat the Colts in the divisional round. And the Kansas City Chiefs are going to walk into Foxborough after taking down the Chargers in the wild card. Give a W in the hands of Patrick Mahomes, taking down Tom Brady the right way, the way it should have been done last year. However, in Arrowhead, there will be no Arrowheads because they traveling to the land of steel. They go into Pittsburgh. They taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship, and Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl, taking on the goddamn New Orleans Saints. You got yourself Drew Brees taking on Ben Roethlisberger, Michael Thomas taking on Juju Smith-Schuster, Alvin Kamara taking on James Conner, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will go on to win the Super Bowl for an unprecedented 7th time in NFL history, and you can bank on that. That's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. It's not a threat. It's a guarantee. I'm not just sure I'm HIV positive. You going hepatitis C? The Pittsburgh Steelers become a 7th time Super Bowl champion. I dropped the mic, but damn it, we paying for this, and I ain't got no money to try to fix it.
Are you done?
Yeah, you could go. You could go.
I let you do what you just did because I tuned out because you was doing all this talking just to say the wrong thing.
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys not going to the playoffs. I'll
let you speak. Here's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, you see I could sit here and do all that. Well, the number one thing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. You could have brought your own gear and set it up. Don't worry about that. We focus. Let me say what I have to say. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, and we running out of time, and I'm happy we running out of time because I don't have much to say. I got a lot to say, but I don't need a lot of words to say it. So I'm gonna say it like this. This is my playoff bracket right here. You understand? This is how I'm coming. For the people listening at home, I'm showing the camera right now my playoff bracket. I can sit here and do all the stuff he's doing. The seed number 1 and the seed number 2, and well, I believe it, but I don't need to say all that. You see what's going on in Gotham. Matter of fact, I don't even need this. We don't need this. I don't need none of this. I'm gonna rip it into the mic for the people at home. Yeah, I don't need this. Don't worry about me. I'll let you speak. Let me speak. I don't need all this. I don't need none of that. Let me explain something to y'all at home. There's a team in Dallas, Texas by the name of the Dallas Cowboys. You're talking about the greatest franchise in NFL history that's going to do something this year that not a lot of people think they're going to do. They're going to go into the playoffs, smack the shit out of whoever they playing in the divisionals, smack the shit out of whoever they playing in the walk-around, smack the shit out of whoever they playing in the conference championships, go into the Super Bowl where they will play the Kansas City Chiefs. I respect the AFC enough to know, what the Chiefs going to do what they do. But fact of the matter is, you can stand, sit, run, jump. You can grab a chair, a ladder, a table, do whatever you want to do, sir. This ain't a WWE match. I'm going to tell y'all how it is. The Dallas Cowboys will be Super Bowl champions going next year. You can book it. Look, I need you to look me in my eye. People at home, I need you to listen to the sound of my voice when I say this. The Dallas Cowboys are going 12-4 next year. They're going to go into the playoffs, and they're going to win a Super Bowl. Dak going to get a ring. Zeke going to get a ring. Van Der Esch going to get a ring. I'm going to get a ring. Just like that. And that's all I got to say. That's all that needs to be said. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't need to do all of the seeding. You want to know why? Because we got Dak.
Okay. Wow.
We got Zeke.
Wow.
We got Van Der Esch, Smith, Coach Clapp.
Wow.
We got Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones. We got Marv Glover. I'm on the team somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
I let you speak.
Because you are the living epitome.
I don't care.
Somebody needed to shift you into SpongeBob.
I'm booking it right now. I'm booking it right now. I don't need all of them statistics. I don't need none of that. You see what's going on. We the boys.
Wow.
We the boys. You can say what you got to say before we close this thing out. I'm disgusted that you would even think to say that my team is not making the Super Bowl.
They're not going to make the playoffs
Shame on
either.
you.
Because, listen, let me tell you a secret. Spoiler alert. It don't matter if you got Dick.
It does.
If you got Zeke.
It does. The best running back in the game.
Van Der Esch, Skip Bayless, Byron Jones.
The best
Jalen
young
Smith,
quarterback
Randy
in the game today.
It don't matter if we have DeMarcus Lawrence, Skip Bayless again as a journalist.
The best in the game.
Tony Romo on commentary.
The best in the game.
Jason Witten
The best in the game.
Michael Irvin as an analyst. Troy Aikman
I'm not
on
hearing none of
commentary.
that.
Coach Garrett clapping it up because he got chlamydia.
He gonna be clapping next to that Super Bowl championship.
We got Jerry Jones. It don't matter because the Dallas Cowboys ain't going nowhere. They gonna win the division.
Look at me. We are the champions now. Look me in my eye. I'm telling you like this. Super Bowl champions, book it.
You know what? You're right.
Listen, and I'm gonna predict the score too. 35-28. Dallas beats the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Book it. What I say? 35-28. Dallas beats the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
You know what? You're right.
I've been right.
You're right.
I've been right. You over here doing all these seasons and statistics and analytical, political, diabolical.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we them boys.
This is the result.
We them boys.
Of when your visual jutsu isn't up to par. Because Itachi has come into the room. The Genjutsu has caught Marv Glover. He's caught an illusion. He believes the Dallas Cowboys
do you really
is going.
and honestly truly believe the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl next year?
Without question. Now, there could be some doubt that is there. Doubt always creeps in. Now, granted, things can change. This July.
And you know what's crazy? Even if Zeke get injured, we're going to be fine because they're going to throw me in. Thank you.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion of episode 4 of the Hold My Nuggets podcast, where we talk 50% sports, 50% real shit, 100% of the time, with the exception of the Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl Zeke-less. Sans Zeke, as the French would say, because they're going to sub in a Marv Glover?
Yup.
And you think somebody with this mustache in 2019 is going to be able to put their team over the hump? What a load of malarkey. Well, bottom line is this. If you don't like the podcast, what can they do?
Hold my nuggets.
And suck my dick.
Thank you.
We out of here.
Good night.